Hi, my name is Justin McShane at the McShane Firm. We're here at Axion Labs in Chicago, Illinois, where I help teach chromatography to lawyers, defense attorneys, prosecutors, judges, policymakers, other scientists. And what we've been talking about is blood ethanol analysis, the blood alcohol content, and how we get that. We talked about the machine, the gas chromatograph with flame ionization detector using a headspace unit. One of the important parts is the interpretation of the data. Because unlike a lot of other machines in our life, it just doesn't have an LED screen that says ethanol and a recorded number. It's not like a breathalyzer or any other contraption that's out there. What you have to do is you have to analyze it. You have to know how the computer controls the machine, and more importantly, how the data is interpreted. So you have to understand the different graphic user interfaces, the different types of machines that are out there, their different strengths and weaknesses in their graphic user interface, and how it's all controlled and how it's computer controlled. Your attorney has to know, for example, all these variables that are there and how they make a difference in terms of your ejector port. How much you're injecting in there can make a difference. Whether or not you have valves or inlets in terms of the actual heat that's there. Is the column installed properly in terms of whether or not you have the right information that's there. And the different temperature and the set points that are there. The resolution in terms of the signals that are there, how many dots across the peak, as it's called, that are there. The run time that's used in the automated sampler. Those things are all very important, and your attorney should and must know about it because those things matter. When we take a look at the data analysis, so you've captured data in the machine, the end user, meaning the person who's using the machine, has to take a look at the data and understand how it's interpreted, what these different peaks mean, which one is ethanol, whether or not it's a good call it's ethanol, whether or not we use the right standards, whether or not there's the right retention time, whether or not we have the right amount of internal standard that's essential for the quantitation of things, and whether or not this is a good analysis at all. These are all things that are driven by the computer and the software and most importantly the human being who's taking a look at this and analyzing it. If the human being, meaning your attorney, doesn't have any frame of reference, doesn't understand any of this, then the chromatograms that they're going to take a look at are just going to be mostly worthless to them. It's going to have a bunch of information, a bunch of data on there that's going to be labeled by the machine, but we don't know whether or not it's a valid result as opposed to just a readable result. Of course, the only thing that can convict anyone is a valid result. Knowing whether or not it's a valid result is the job of the attorney, of the defense attorney, not just the expert, not the state expert, but the defense attorney, to understand these things so we can make sure what is actually in someone's blood, that's their responsibility, is due to them, not to a computer mistake, not due to an analyst mistake, not due to anything else. So what you have to do if you're an attorney, or else if you're someone who is accused of a DUI, is make sure that your attorney has the proper training in all of this in order to make sure that justice is done.